Welcome to Peschiera del Garda, a small town that I visited. It lies at Lake Garda in northern Italy, and it's a very beautiful small town. It's perfect for an Italian holiday. And by accident I got to share this incredible moment with these people. Let's hope they get a happy marriage. I am going to explore the central parts of the town, part of town that is so beautiful with all the shops, and can you imagine living here? I can, and it would have been a dream come true to live in a small Italian town. Don't you agree that I am right? The central part of the town is actually part of an old Venetian fortification system. And the fortification is actually a part of a Unesco World Heritage site. Visiting Peschiera del Garda is actually something that I highly recommend. It's quiet, it's peaceful, you have good restaurants, there is a small city center where you can do some shopping, and you can also go on excursions to other parts of Lake Garda from Peschiera del Garda. And it is family friendly also. But I had to accept that some people did backflips from the World Heritage site. Do you remember the lovely couple that got married? This is the square and the church that they got married in. I walked by just prior to them getting married, and it's a lovely church, I think. Really beautiful. I did not know that they were getting married, and I was just passing by luck. And this is an old picture of the church, and apparently the buildings to the left of the church has served as military barracks, which I think is kind of interesting as a history nerd. I continued to walk and was mesmerized by the town. It was full of people, especially tourists, but that did not bother me at all. It's a bit touristic, but that was to be expected. Considering the small size, it had many restaurants and a vibrant life. Peschiera del Garda is surely a place I can visit again. And I did not stay long enough in retrospect. I got here by train, but the closest airport lies in Verona. Where the city now lies was before a Gallic settlement named Roman Ardelica, which probably was a trading place. Unfortunately, I was only able to view the old settlement from behind glass. But I understand it is an archaeological site that I need to protect, so they can continue the excavations. This squat bridge, constructed in 1556, spans a canal that channels water from Lake Garda into the river Mincio. I really like these old squat bridges. In this historical photograph portraying washerwoman, the oldest fishing station called Pescaresso is seen. This photo is so old that I first thought it was a painting that I saw. I just had to walk up onto the Ponte dei Voltoni bridge because I thought that the views would be great. And I was right. It was really beautiful, but it wasn't high up, but it was still worth it anyway. Having an apartment along this canal would be super great. I could easily sit on the balcony with a cup of coffee. Just outside of the fortification you can see this monument, a monument of an artillery unit. I like contemporary history, and I'm a bit fascinated by war history, but I'm totally against war, so I just had to check this out. It looked so powerful, so beautiful, but also so devastating at the same time. And apparently it served a purpose. This is called Bastion Feltrin, and as you can see, part of the fortification collapsed in 1935. I only had one negative thing to say about my stay here in Peschiera del Garda. I booked a hotel 20 minutes walking time from the old city. I should have booked a hotel in the old city instead. But the hotel I stayed at was still great. Peschiera del Garda is one of the key sites along the shores of Lake Garda where archaeologists have uncovered historic houses dating back to the Bronze Age, now part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its strategic location on the lake and at the mouth of the Mincio River made it a key stronghold for the Romans, so it has been settled for a very long time. From Peschiera del Garda, it was possible to navigate the Mincio River all the way to the Adriatic Sea. In the Middle Ages, the town came under the control of the powerful Scaliger family of Verona, but later fell into the hands of the rival Visconti family of Milan. Eventually, the Venetian Republic seized control. Under these rulers, the town's fortifications were expanded, culminating in the construction of an imposing structure surrounded by water in the middle of the river by the Venetians. In the Napoleonic Wars, the town was captured by the French. After the area was seized by the French, it was eventually handed over to the Austrians following Napoleon's defeat. The Austrians incorporated Peschiera del Garda into the Quadrilateral, a defensive network of fortresses built to protect the region and control communications along the Mincio and other rivers, especially against the rising Italian independence movement. Peschiera del Garda fell to the Piedmontese forces in 1848, after a prolonged siege lasting around 40 days, and the town became part of the new Kingdom of Italy with the Treaty of Prague in 1866. The majority of the fortifications visible today dates back to the 16th century. Visitors can now walk along many of the fortress walls, enjoying beautiful views of the canals, the Mincio River and Lake Garda. The former military stronghold is increasingly becoming a popular tourist destination, so if you would like to avoid tourists, then travel somewhere else, but I can still recommend it. This is the only place in the Lake Garda region that I have stayed at, and it made me wanted to travel around the lake and visit more places. But much to my disappointment, I am not the richest man in the world, and I will probably never be that. I am just a normal Swedish guy that needs to save money to travel. Likes, comments and subscriptions are therefore greatly appreciated, so more normal people can enjoy Peschiera del Garda or any other place that I have filmed and visited. Italy is so much more than Rome, Milano and Venice, and it was a lot of history to be discovered here. Much more than I thought when I entered the town from the train station, and therefore it's a must visit for me again later in my life.